Experts say preventative measures such as internal monitoring, whistleblower protection, and ethical compliance are essential to sustaining reforms in Nigeria's public institutions. They spoke at an executive capacity building training organized by the National Inland Waterways Authority, stressing accountability as vital to strengthen integrity and improving governance. Michael Ila reports.
Concerns over corruption, lack of accountability, and poor transparency have continued to undermine efficiency and public trust in Nigeria's institutions. Despite reforms and oversight mechanisms, experts say gaps in leadership, internal controls, and ethical standards still affect service delivery and national development. Stakeholders from the National Inland Waterways Authority and the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission are calling for stronger integrity systems to improve accountability in government agencies.
Our collective commitment to transparency, openness, and accountability will determine whether reforms succeed or falter. We must lead by example.
While leadership, commitment to accountability and transparency may be evident, expanded operational demands and institutional growth require more structured, systematic, and sustainable integrity mechanisms. Integrity must therefore extend beyond individual ethics and become embedded in organizational systems.
We must be frank with ourselves. Every naira lost to inefficiency, sharp practice, or poor planning is a naira taken away from dredging our channels, maintaining navigational aids, enforcing safety standards, and unlocking the economic value of our inland waterways. The cost of weak system is paid by the people, by businesses that depend on reliable transport, and by communities whose economic opportunities remain constrained.
They insist that to achieve sustainable development, anti-corruption efforts must go beyond enforcement to prevention through continuous training and institutional reforms.
And we expect at the end of the day, Nigerians will be better for it. And the renewed hope of Mr. President will be carried without any stress, because everybody understands what it takes to do this job properly for the achievement of our objectives.
Beyond policies and regulations, key players emphasize that transparency and responsible leadership are crucial for enhancing performance and rebuilding public trust in institutions. Michael Ila, TVC News.
Michael Ila joins me now to give more details. Michael, this training focuses on strengthening integrity systems, like you said. What specific weaknesses within public institutions were identified during the session?
Okay, hi, Adebanke. What NIWA says basically is that the gathering, as small as it was, is to serve as a springboard for further conversations to see how efficiency can be boosted across public institutions in Nigeria. But some of the major weaknesses that were highlighted could focus on weak laws, weak corruption laws, weak laws to punish offenders, and also political interference in the activities of public institutions. There are also concerns about the lack of adequate policies to protect whistleblowers in public institutions. So these issues, basically with the one I highlighted first being a major concern as regards weak laws to punish offenders and weak laws to punish offenders basically. So most heads of agencies would feel that they will get a slap on the wrist if they are fingered for anti-corruption, for corruption cases basically at the bank. So weak laws have been highlighted as major concerns at the bank.
Michael, from your report, it was observed that NIWA and the ICPC were both represented. Is there a formal collaboration between the two regulatory agencies?
So anti-corruption bodies and regulatory bodies have their jobs cut out for them, basically. But even if they work independently, there have been this need for them to work to collaborate in the achievement of greater results. You would agree that ICPC fights corruption in itself, and regulatory bodies like NIWA are trying to see how we can have safety on the waterways. So there's even though it's not clearly stated there on paper, there was no joint agreement on frameworks on the establishment of partnership between regulatory bodies and anti-corruption bodies. You would agree with me that collaboration is key in the achievement of the greater goal at the bank here.
Okay, TVC's Michael Ila, thank you for joining us. In the course of